welcome. And we are going to do some stuff today that sounds like this right here. And also sounds like this. That sounds really exciting, doesn't it? But honestly, these two little things I'm going to give you is going to empower you to have a couple of new pockets, and it's going to make you sound like you're doing more than what you really are. Because of the dissonance that these tones are going to make in the music here, it's going to give us the impression that there's more happening than meets the eye. And so, for instance, I do a lot of solos where, in like a pedals down position, I'll just kind of catch this. And so that, so for instance, if I'm in Orange Blossom, a lot of times I'll just kind of really play on that. So you can hear that little dissonant tone going there. And it makes for a great banjo kind of thing. And then we got this here. Okay, so what is happening? Let's look at each different one, and then we're going to break it down and really slow it down where you can get these two pieces, and then hopefully that'll give you just some ideas as you're trying to do speed picking and solos and things at a fast tempo. Hopefully this will give you a couple things to work on. Now, so the first piece is a minor second. So this is what is happening if I think of things in like a keyboard fashion a lot of times, because I kind of first started learning music on the piano. And so if you took the C note, just the regular C, middle C on a piano, and then you played the very next note to it would be C sharp, the higher one, and you played those together, they sound kind of weird. And quite honestly, that alone would not make very good music, right? But when it's used in a kind of an up-tempo method, there's things that that dissonance really can help us with, as you've already heard. And quite honestly, as far as half steps in music, this is what it is, a minor second, just referring to it as a half step. And classical music, I mean, that's where you hear a lot of this movements with those half-step chromatics and things like that. And it gives that impression that there's a lot more going on than maybe what meets the eye. And some of that dissonant sound is being created from that. And so where you get that on the guitar, I kind of use it in a pedals down position, and I'm using my second string, which is E flat. I knock that down a half step to a D with my knee lever, and then I'm using my fifth string, my B string, and then pulling that up to the C sharp. So that creates the C sharp and then the D note. So it's on strings 2 and 5, pedals down, and then be sure to take that E flat, knock it down a half a step. So you got. So I'm going to come back to that and break it down even further in just a minute. But the second thing we're going to study in this lesson today is the what I would call a sharp 4 kind of note. And so this works out. It makes a lot of the same kind of tone. And so that is like if you took the C note on a piano and then you played the F sharp note. It's exactly 4 sharp. So it's I don't have any half steps. I can't figure that in my mind real quick. But playing that 4 sharp gives you that really odd kind of tone, and that's going to really come in helpful. Hear it there? And then if I do a banjo kind of roll. So both of these things are really helpful to me in creating a solo, and then having a couple spaces there, one in an open position and then one with the pedals down position. Gives me a little jumping off point, a pocket I call it. And so let's talk about number one, the minor second. So we're going to be in a pedals down position. So just for the sake of our exercise here, go to the 10th fret and pedals down. And those of you have been around steel guitar for a long time, you're going to automatically know that is a G position. So the 10th fret with pedals down is known as our G position. And I'm going to take my E flat string, which is number 2 string. Most everybody will lower that down to a D, a half step. Now I have mine on a half step stop. So you've got the half step, and I've got that on a stop that I can feel, and then I can go on down and lower that to on down to the C sharp, a whole step. So you got the. So if I stop that half step where it's a D, it's going to create this dissonance that I'm looking for. And now I'm going to just do like a little banjo roll. Let me show you what's going on there. So what I do is I start with my pedal, and in my case I'm using CBA. A lot of people use ABC, but I'm in more of a Jimmy Day known. That's kind of what it's known for, that setup. So I am rocking from my B pedal onto my A pedal. Okay. So from my 5th string, on that 5th string, I rock that on, and then I hit with my index finger the G sharp note. And of course, the pedal's going to be engaged on that, my B pedal, because I've got that down. And then I come back and I hit that 5th string again. So you got, and then with my 3rd finger, I'm going to hit that 2nd string. So it's kind of subtle. And as I am going to introduce a speed picking lesson that's going to be on a video, I'll have a lot of that tabbed out for you. Just for the sake of this YouTube lesson, I'm just going to kind of assume that a lot of you are at a far enough level that you don't necessarily need tabs, but so that's the sound you want. So once you get that roll, now if I'm in a playing like a Rolling My Sweet Baby's Arms kind of song, and I come up here and I start that banjo roll, I might need to, at some point then, as I'm going to switch and go to the next chord of C, I might hit this real quick. And so while I'm doing there is I'm hitting my middle finger hits that the 2nd note, the 2nd string, and then I hit the 5th string with my thumb, and I'm literally just, and you can just keep going on that. So there's 2 things there. That's straight down, or there's this. And that's where I'm hitting the extra thumb. So it goes, and then hit the thumb again. Thumb. Can you hear that? Or, so there's 2 different movements there that you need to pick up on. And so hopefully at the end of the day though, you really realize that with that combination of, it sounds terrible when you play it by itself like that, but when you're doing the banjo tap roll, and you got the, so that's a pretty cool one, isn't it? Anyway, practice that. Send me an email, zaneking@me.com, and I'll be happy to talk to you more about it. Give me some ideas, things that you're working on, maybe some places you want to go. And as I'm making the speed picking course that's going to come out here later this year, I might even incorporate some of your ideas and things that you really want to study. Of course, we're going to have a whole series of speed picking, and so we really want to help you with that. So the second thing that we were talking about, though, is that that sharp 4 kind of sound. I think I've heard those kind of sounds in movies and horns outside. But put inside of some music, really some up-tempo, bluegrass kind of feeling things. It really makes for, again, a sound that is a little more involved because of that dissonance it's creating between those notes. It just sounds a little more involved than what you're actually doing. Because if you play something like this on major strings, 1, 3s, and 5s, you know, I mean, that sounded good, but then when you do this, suddenly, chaos, and there's beauty in some of that chaos. So all I'm doing here, this one's really simple. I'm just lowering that E flat, my second string, down to a D, my half step stop on that, and then I hit that G sharp, my third string. And so those together create that dissonant tone. And then when I combine that with my strings 5 and 4, so I'll just do a little banjo thing. And all I'm doing there is hitting 5 and 3, and then 4 and 2. And so you might just take that much of it and just be able to do that. And then add some speed. And then eventually you'll be able to, right? And all I'm doing there on that coming down is I'm actually hitting strings 3 and 2 at the same time, and then hitting the 5. And so that's a good little exercise to get into. Like, for instance, if I'm in G at my 15th fret, and I'm kind of soloing in that, I'm going, and then I want to kind of round it off. I might then come down to the 13th fret and hit those together, and then I pull all my pedals together and pull that second string I had a half step. Now I'm going to pull it on down right there, and to balance off that G chord. So, and then of course I'm going to work in and out by maybe in G, I'm using that, but then I might come pedals down and hit that minor second. So I've got, and then it's right available. And so you can see how that's kind of working together. I know that's some fast playing, some fast notes there. I didn't slow it down a whole lot. And again, I'm kind of gearing all this information up to you so that you will come in and really, if you really want to excel at speed picking, we're going to take you through a whole series of lessons that's going to be complete with tablature. We'll also have backing tracks that you can practice to, because a lot of the practicing I do, I just simply put on a drum pattern, and I am just playing those things over and over, but playing them in time. And then the technique that's used for all that. There's a variety of things that you can utilize for that. So I hope you got a little something off of this today, and thank you for watching.